All right, first of all, Mauricio, thanks so much for joining us here on Astro Supersport. Have you ever thought about the fact that you've been in the Premier League, albeit you were in France for a while, you've been in the Premier League for over a decade now, 2013, the first time you were at Southampton. You've seen a lot of things change. What about the tactical approaches that you've seen change in the last decade?
I think it's true. The evolution is there. And I think it's more global today football because of the evolution of the technology also. We have access to, I don't say to copy, but to see, the different, possibility to the evolution of football. But it's true when we arrived more than 10 years ago, still here in the Premier League was more a mix about the different philosophy of football and the approach of the games, different. But it's true that today is more, if you see the 20 teams plus the championship, all try to play and to evolve, and all the teams evolve in the same way, is to try to build from back, to play, in associations. The Premier League was losing a little bit the capacity to play again or to face teams that play in some way and to the week after to play in different way. And I think that is the evolution that suffered, and I think we were part of this evolution because when we arrived, it's only, I think was Brendan Rodgers, I think was in Liverpool, that trying to play the football that now, is present in the Premier League, but we arrive with a similar, philosophy and idea into play in this way, and of course after arrive Pep and Klopp and
but now it's even more,
coaches like this.
It's even beyond
now it's
traditional
because now it's like is to play in this way is in the way that the clubs and the owners and the sporting director, and then because it's like this line of football that is 99% on the world, all the team and the coaches in the evolution, also in the formation, in the education, are doing are learning in this way.
Do you feel that coaches or managers should be able to adapt to the evolution of tactics, or do you think there's more value for a manager to stick to his philosophy, no matter where he goes and no matter how much time has passed?
Yeah, but now it's so easy, to copy, because you have access to everything, that you are doing. Yes, sometimes it's a little bit boring because it always looks like football only is to play in only one way, when before was a different way to play. But it's true that now is affecting. The result is affecting maybe only to see the teams that are winning, and then from there, all coaches that arrive want to evolve in the same way. But it's true that that now is like more homogeneous, and when you watch different teams or play in Champions League, or try to do and to play in the same way and to do the similar things. But it's true that the evolution of football was in this way.
If you were to look into the future, if you can sort of predict, how do you feel that evolution is going to move forward in the future? What are the things you're starting to see now?
Yeah, because now what we need to also to pay attention is the evolution of the technology that start to change the rules, like a VAR start to change things, in the game. And that is, the rule will change. We will need to adapt, and the football that we play, the sport that was 30 years ago, changing a lot now, and for now it's going to accelerate. The speed is going to be, and the evolution
you think the change will come quicker,
quicker, because the evolution of the technology that is going to try to create a sport more attractive for the fans, more attractive for the TVs and for the broadcaster and everything. That is why we need to pay attention in all the evolution of the technology too.
Do you feel that that is one of those things that a manager has to deal with in terms of challenges that people don't really see? That you have to yourself keep up with all these changes so quickly and adapt yourself? I mean, take us into your shoes. what would you feel would be one of the challenges that managers face that people don't talk about, that people don't see?
No, it's about the education of the player, because the player now need to grow, thinking in a different way than when I was a kid, and was playing football, because the rules are completely different. That is why the challenge is for the coaching staff is massive now, is because some values and some principles of football, when you grow, now you need to try to avoid, and you need to, in some way, you need to provide the players, different, or to have different approach, because football is changing a lot, and it's difficult for the player to adapt. Yeah, well, it was the concept of being central back. Like I was central back, and I was teaching through my teammate, doing things that today with the VAR you cannot do. Some action inside to the box you cannot, than when before you can be, naughty, you can be, aggressive, or a little bit, the capacity to perceive things, you cannot do now, because you have 20, 30 cameras that are record, and you need to behave like a perfect, gentleman there inside to the box. But before the game was more about to challenge, to fight, and because you have the referee, if the referee didn't see you, that's going on. But now you are checking cameras. That is why everything is changing, and the approach is completely different. And now you need to develop different strategies and tools to provide to the player to act on the pitch and be very clinical in different action. No?
Well, of course, it's getting more competitive in the Premier League as well. You talk about that physicality, that aggression for centre backs. You still have physicality in the Premier League in some sense, but how do you balance physicality versus technical prowess, technical ability in your own tactical play?
Yes, I think we talk about two different things. One is about will, another is about talent. It's how you born. When you born, you have some talent, and after you need to help with your will. And I think that is to be competitive, is to have good capacity technically. It's about to work, of course. It's about to practice, because you need to practice. But and then it's about your will, your capacity to be there, consistent, fighting. Your mentality when you approach the game. That if you have that areas in a good levels, and I think you will be very competitive, and you are going to have the possibility to play for big clubs.
I think you do have a reputation of working with a lot of young talents, nurturing young talents. Why do you particularly like?
No, not a reputation. It's a fact. It's not a
fact.
reputation.
Okay. It is a fact. So why?
It's not a myth.
Why do you prefer to work with young talents?
No, I want to work with talent, young or not young, with players that you can.
But we've seen the players you've nurtured, Southampton, Spurs, and obviously why you're a good match at Chelsea.
We have the capacity. We have the capacity, the vision, or the capacity. We are sensitive. A young player that we have the possibility to help in the evolution. We are a coaching staff that we take care of the young guys and helping them to to evolve and be a real football player. But of course, that always what we like is to win, and is to have talented player that can compete in the best way, to helping us to win games. But yes, I think it's true that we have the possibility, Southampton, Espanyol, or Tottenham, to work with a young squad, and the results were very good.
So how impressive has Cole Palmer been? How did you mold his game and nurture his playing style that's so complementary to the way that Chelsea attack?
No, very impressive, because I think when he arrived, he adapted very well, very quick to Chelsea, and now is our that we were talking about challenge. No, is the challenge is to help him to be always with the feet on the grass, and try to, that for him to realize in things still, you know, the thing that still need to improve. He need to improve into many things.
Can you
of
give
course,
us some examples of what he needs to improve?
Example in the capacity to be more consistent and tactical, you know, things that to learn into play not only in one position and doing always the same movement. He need to learn, no, the capacity to have more different, to use different possibility to add in his game, that to make, you know, the possibility for him to perform better and better and better, because still is young. Yes, we are in that moment that we need to support him, but at the same time we need to create in him the necessity, you know, that every day to try to be better and better and better. Not is enough, you know, that with the quality that he's showing.
What do you think his ceiling is? Because you've worked with some of the world's best. If the ceiling is 100%, where would you put Cole Palmer now? Is he 30, 40%?
30, 40?
It's up
No,
to you.
higher,
Well,
higher.
Okay, so what is his
60,
ceiling?
70.
Oh, 60,
60,
70. You think
70.
that's at 40%?
Yes, it's still a big roof to improve in his game.
Where do you think his ceiling is in comparison to some of the players you've worked with before?
I think he can become a top player. We really believe that have the talent, and now it's the last step or the last few steps that he need to be very solid into and to be very strong in his mind to make the step and to be there, and then be consistent, because it's not easy to be on there, no, okay, on the top.
Well, brilliant. Thank you so much, Mauricio, for joining us. All the best for the rest of the season.
You're welcome.